Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Remember, if you love film, gaming, or television content, please consider clicking that subscribe button because today I'm talking about another controversial film. This time, it's going to be about Don't Worry Darling. So, let's get into it. What a rollercoaster ride it has been before the film has even released. After a promising debut in Booksmart, which is not a film I am as high on as everyone else, but I could see that Olivia Wilde had some real potential as a director. When I saw that her next film was Don't Worry Darling, and it was going to have one of my favorite actresses at the moment, Florence Pugh, I was really excited to eventually see this. We then fast forward to the Venice International Film Festival, where we just get exposed to a mountain of drama after its premiere. I mean, nearly every member of the cast had some kind of stupid or controversial moment that just really overtook the narrative of this film.
I don't want the drama.
With all of that being said, and after all of the negative reception this film has received, I still wanted to go into it with an unbiased opinion and make up my own mind. I did have low expectations and the film does surpass them, but that doesn't mean I like or love this film at all. It's just not as terrible as it was made out to be. This film is competently done, showcases an interesting message, and is helmed by a fantastic performance from Florence Pugh. She is the protagonist and she carries this film on her back. She delivers in every single scene, and whatever was required from her, she delivered and then some. With the rest of the cast, they are okay enough. Chris Pine has an interesting dynamic with Florence Pugh's character, and Olivia Wilde delivers a decent enough supporting performance. And then there is Harry Styles. He is very hit and miss here. I think in some scenes it really felt like he was an amateur, and then in others I think he did a pretty solid job, and it's definitely not as bad as what we have been led to believe.
You know, my favorite thing about the movie is it feels like a movie.
Then we have the negatives, and there are a fair amount, beginning with the writing. The dialogue is written fine enough. It's more the writing of the story itself. It progresses nicely as this thriller that comments on traditional gender roles, which is a nice and interesting message to have alongside this thriller. However, while the first two acts, I am mostly thinking that this is progressing kind of okay, but we just hit this third act, and as soon as it starts providing answers, I just start getting more and more disappointed because it's just the most brain-dead, simple answers that just don't tie everything nicely together. Also, the events that happened in the third act undo some of the events that happened in the first two acts, and you're left thinking, what was the point of that scene early on? I don't know, it just left a bad taste in my mouth when the film was finished, which is really funny because at the end of my screening, someone just started applauding unironically, which was just really funny to see. So I think in some ways, this is something to recommend because it seems like a lot of people really enjoyed this at my screening. I almost felt like I was being a little too pessimistic, but I really think this was a disappointing watch. It's weird. I really can't go into too much detail on the specifics of what I don't like because I'm just going to be going into spoilers and I don't want to do that here. All I can say is if I can recommend it to you. In my last review for Blonde, which you can check out by clicking the link above me, I mentioned how I can't recommend that to anyone because it is such a travesty and I just don't know who it's for. Don't Worry Darling has a little more to it, where I can say if you're willing to turn your brain off a little bit and aren't expecting this to be really excellent at all, you will get an okay movie out of this. I personally just think that it was kind of mediocre and overall just quite forgettable. I'm going to give Don't Worry Darling a 3 out of 5. The ending is pretty laughable, but the rest of the film is a decent enough thriller. It has a couple of scares that kind of work due to some creepy imagery, and the rest is an okay enough mystery that you're having some fun with in terms of theorizing what's going to happen at the end. It's just a little disappointing that it doesn't really deliver in that third act, because when it starts giving those answers, the film just falls apart. And I'll also have to say that this is way too long. I'm sick of seeing movies that are over 2 hours long when they really don't have the concept to push the film to be that long. And honestly, Don't Worry Darling should have been an hour and a half. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. Tell me, what are your thoughts towards Don't Worry Darling in the comments below? I'm not the biggest fan of this film, and I am honestly forgetting what happened really quickly, and I want to know, in your opinion, if this film was worth your time or not. It sucks that the headlines and the drama overshadowed what this was trying to say and execute, but hey, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.